Just picked up another Honda Civic, 2012 this time. Left front corner, that's basically the only damage here. Got, let's see, got the radiator support, I believe. Just a little bit. Very similar to the previous two I picked up. Gonna have to replace the hood, the front bumper, headlight, grill. This fender I'm going to save, but it did kick it out here and break the paint. So I will have to paint that fender. I was hoping I could straighten it and not have to paint it. I'm going to have to paint that one. Let's see, on the right side, the hood actually slid over and overlapped this fender. Put a dent right there, so I'll have to repair that. I can just spot in some color there and clear the fender. Not a big deal, but other than that, the car is really straight. I really don't see maybe just a couple of minor door dings along the body line. Other than that, it's pretty straight. There's a nick in the back bumper over here, but right in there's a little bit of damage. I may fix that, maybe not, we'll see. Driver's window was down whenever I got the car delivered. I think it may have set that way. At the auction, the entire floor here is just soaked with water. So I'm going to have to take the carpet out, I believe, and let it hang up and let it dry for a while I fix the car. Next step's going to be to dismantle the front end, see what all I need to buy, make a list of parts and get those coming. I pre-ordered the parts that I knew I needed. Got the hood in this box, bumper over there, and the headlight. That other box is some trailer parts. I just picked up a trailer the other day. I'm going to be selling my truck, so I'm going to get that put together. I'll get some of this front end torn off and show you what's behind all this in just a minute. Okay, I've got a little bit torn down. I'm going to go a little further with this, probably pull the aluminum bumper beam off right there. I'll take that headlight out. And the radiator and condenser are going to have to be replaced, so that'll give me room to do that. I've also found that this bracket here for the airbag sensor, it got pushed back. It's kind of Z-shaped now, and this part of the frame horn is pushed back a little. I can straighten that out pretty easily, and also that bracket. I'll just unbolt the sensor, straighten all that up. It's supposed to look like this one. Nice and square. That's fairly simple, but missed all the main structure in here. The radiator support is really not all that bad. I may just may be able to save it. I'd rather save the factory welds and not cut it out. It's a lot better repair to just straighten this section. It only needs to come out maybe an inch out this way. But what I can do is once I get the tie bar here off, I've got to get the battery out to get the bolt behind it that bolts it to this section. Once I get that out, I can pull this out. I might be able to put a porta power in here somewhere up against, through here, maybe take the air box out, put it up against the firewall somewhere strong. Push this piece out here a little bit just to get it right back where it was and straighten everything with hammer and dolly. And that'd be a whole lot simpler and really a better repair in the end. This piece, I'll probably have to buy this piece. I may just get an aftermarket support and just take this out of it. I think this piece from Honda cost almost as much as an entire aftermarket radiator support. It depends on the price. I may just get the one from Honda or take one off of an entire assembly. But it would be good to save this radiator support for the most part. Be a lot quicker repair and, in my opinion, a better repair instead of cutting everything out that's still there that's factory. I'm going to pull this hood hinge off. It's actually bent down inside here. You can see the paint's chipped off of it there. It got kinked, and I may need the other one. I think I might be able to reuse it if I get the hood on and it looks okay. I may reuse it. I'm going to go a little further with it just so I can get a parts list together. See you in a little while. Alright, I've gone about as far as I'm going to go till I get some parts here. I need to leave the radiator hooked up so that I can crank it and get it out of here if I get something else in that I need to do. I've got both headlights out, bumper beam. I went ahead and took the fans out because they got to come off the radiator anyway and be transferred to the new one. Got those out of the way. I've got the intake air resonator that wraps around this way. Right here, I've just got it hanging loose. It's kind of a pain to get it all the way out, so I'm just going to leave it and work around it. This piece I'm going to pull out some. I don't believe this is is permanently pushed in. I'm sure it went in some during the accident, but I think it probably sprung right back. There are no kinks or buckles in this area. So I'm probably going to get the tie bar that I need and then get this out some and get the diagonal measurement from there to probably the hood hinge hole or something to match this side if it's a known good. Then I'll cross check it to get it square with the tram gauge. I'm going to get some parts ordered now. I've already got the bumper here. Just unboxed it. It looks pretty good. Headlight looked fine. It was in that box over there. Here's the hood. You can see some ripples right through the center. And this is what FedEx does to these. Every single time I order these, I'll probably have to get either another hood from the company and just make another attempt at it. And if that doesn't work, they probably will discount it, and I'll just have to repair this. I don't think I can get one for the same price locally. I'm going to try the local supplier and see if they can give me a straight one for a decent price. Maybe I won't have to fix this, but that's kind of where we are right now. That happened with the previous 2 salvage cars I purchased, same problem. For right now, I'm going to stop, order some parts. When I get some parts in, I'll start taking some more stuff off and getting at least the radiator put in where I can drive it again. Alright, update on the progress. I am going to have to get the right hood hinge. It's also kinked. But I've got everything off except the radiator and the condenser that I've got to take off. I'm waiting on the parts to get here to do that. I need to back it out of here. I got another job in. I got to paint these 2 bumpers here. Just straighten up this fender. It was kicked out right here, probably 1/8 of an inch. I just worked that in by hand. You get it back flush with the door. Got a little bit of a buckle right there. You can see it right at the top edge of the fender, right there. And that's where the fender, where this ledge stops, where it's got a weak spot. So I'm gonna have to flatten that back out. I think I can do that by hand and not have to do any body work. You see where it's just a little bit of a high spot there in it. Not very bad at all. Then this spot here, I'll just have to tap down, get that flat again, and I think that fender's gonna be fine. Whoever had the car must have run over something with the mud flap here. Tore a hole in this, and I've already straightened this, but this part right here was bent all the way around facing the outside of the car. So I've straightened all that up now. I'm going to put a little paint over it. Paint was cracked right there, starting to chip off down to the metal. But I've got to paint this fender anyway, so I'll just sand all that through and put a little color on it once I get to that point. I've bought just an upper tie bar to go between here and here. I'm going to straighten this out just to make everything fit. Essentially all I have to do is get the hood latch to line up to the new hood, and also the headlight to line up to this, and make sure everything's square, and then pretty good from that point. I'd rather not cut everything out. That'll be next once I get some parts. Alright, I'm going to do an initial pull on the radiator support here. I don't have a pulling post or a frame machine, obviously, so I've got to be able to pull this out somehow. I was thinking about putting a porta power somewhere in here, but this will just be simpler. I've got a toe strap wrapped around this corner. I got the metal hook of it inside the radiator support, and the other end of it behind the bar here to bind it in where it can't slip off. So I'm just going to pull this back until it looks about the same as this, and I'll get a tool out to measure it. There's a minor buckle in there. I'm going to hammer that out. That'll help hold this where I leave it. Some of that tension off. I'm going to work this out. I'll be right back in a minute. Alright, I got the tram gauge out right here. I've got this out where it matches the other side, and right now I'm just going to have to assume this is in the right position. It may not be, but until I get this tie bar that goes through here to then close the hood on the latch, I don't know if these are the same now, but I may need to pull both of them out. I don't have the hood or the tie bar ready to go yet, so I'll just show you what I've got so far. I've set the tram gauge up in the rear hood hinge hole. I've taken the hood hinges out, they're both bad. I have to get this one also rear hole for the hood hinge bolt. It drops right in. Drops right into that hole there for the tie bar. Bring this over to the other side. Same two holes, rear of the hinge. And that pin drops right in the hole right there for the tie bar. So I'm going to leave it right there until I get the tie bar and the hinges so I can put the hood on and also the hood latch and see if I've got it in the right position forward. That's going to be it for the pull right now. I'm going to leave it set up in case I need to pull on it some more, but next thing is going to be just to hammer that buckle out of that one hole right there. Flatten this bar out. It's not very much at all. I'll show you that real quick. This hole right here, it's got a slight dip in it, right in there, where it took a little bit of the impact. Should look like this one. This one's just pretty much flat. So I'll get that kink out right there, and that should be almost perfect for that spot. Then I'll go through and straighten up any flanges that I bent doing this, and do some touch-up paint on the edges where the paint's getting chipped off. Be back with the hinges on in the hood and try to get this radiator support in the right place.